So the expectations for Longlegs are really soaring right now, but before they get too high, I think that there is a group that is going to like this movie a little bit more than others. Let's break down who that group is. I think the person who's going to be most interested in this film is going to be the one who's interested in style, in camera blocking, in aesthetics, in the ridiculous amount of references to Thomas Harris and Silence of the Lambs, or David Fincher and his Seven and Mindhunter and Zodiac. And also, it's going to be the person who's not going to mind that this story is a little bit empty and it's all kind of relying on schlocky horror tropes. I think all the pre-release buzz kind of made us feel like this was going to be something a little bit more elevated, but I don't really think this is that. This is a good-looking movie, though. It didn't scare me as much as I thought it would, but it did engage me. It did give me some suspense, and at moments, it did put me on the edge of my seat. This movie was directed by Oz Perkins, who happens to be the son of Anthony Norman Bates Perkins, and much of the time, he and cinematographer Andres Arochi Tinajero's camera is the best thing about what's going on screen. This is the star of the movie. This movie takes on the drab, chilly atmosphere of lamps. He films in rooms that, even when lit, all seem caked in mysterious shadow. He makes good use of creaky farmhouses, poised with aspect ratios. And I'm convinced he in part set this film in the 90s because microfilm projectors can come across as more severe ways of carrying expository information than the internet. As for story, the film gives us FBI agent Lee Harker, who's played by Maika Monroe. She's been selected by her boss, Agent Carter, played by Blair Underwood, for this new special case because she's partly psychic. 10 family homes have been terrorized over the last 10 years. In each one, a ciphered letter has been left signed Longlegs. There were other connections between the 10 cases. In each one, it was the father who did the killing. In each one, there was a daughter who was celebrating a birthday on the 14th of any month. That the killer also managed to convince someone else to do the killing for him also points to something that's more Manson inspired. What transpires next is more of a procedural mixed with the supernatural than much of a character study. Where it picks up the slack in grisly nihilism and unsettling dread, the movie doesn't really offer much to chew on between hero and serial killer that we haven't seen before. Mostly, we're just kind of waiting for Longlegs to be revealed. There are a few jump scares along the way, and I don't want to give too much away about the plot, but it does bring up points of family, creepy dolls, and the devil, and tries to stir all that into a coherent stew. There's also some random jump cuts to bubbling goo and snakes, which I'm assuming also has to do with the devil, though I'm not well versed in that particular area, and I'm not really sure exactly if Perkins has a more broader point to make about these things or if he's just using it for unsettling imagery. But maybe I'm burying the lead here, which is that Nicolas Cage is also in this film, though not very much as you might think. I mean, Cage comes on screen, he's being described as looking like an aging glam rocker, and he does kind of sound like Tiny Tim, though the person I felt he looked more akin to was Buffalo Bill, if Buffalo Bill actually did manage to become an old woman. And he is playing Longlegs here, though there is so much more mystery surrounding this character that I'm not even really sure that the film even answers all of the questions he presents. What we can predictably say, though, is that Cage is going to go apeshit, and I think that this performance is going to be a very much acquired taste. It's a lot of shrill wailing and a lot of jacked up mania. Either you'll respect the lunacy, the go for broke lunacy that he goes for, or you're just gonna find it freaking annoying. Monroe is going to be the one who's carrying most of the movie, though it's hard to tell what the film is trying to say about her character at times. She's another one of those slightly autistic, rigid profiler characters. She's quiet, she's detached, she's obsessive, yet for all this, Monroe also seems to be a little bit too repressive at times. I think we're meant to get more of an interior life from her, some glimpses into her past to identify with her more, but I mean, it just never feels like that comes. And that leads me to say that I didn't really care for the ending of this movie. In fact, I don't really think I even care about the story of it. It all kind of feels like it's just paying lip service to the 70s and a lot of those horror tropes. Horror fans may actually find its eventual explanation more sensible than I did, but this melding of procedural and supernatural, it didn't really do much for me at all. I think it's a far better movie just in terms of filmmaking, in atmosphere, aesthetics, camera angles, sound effects. I mean, all these things that just go into making a horror movie as depraved and as chilling and as unsettling as they are. There are so many horror movies this summer, from Carrot to The Strangers to The Watchers to The Exorcism. I mean, people are saying this is the best horror movie of the summer, and they're right. Yeah, sure. This is a film that's very studied in how you really scare people, and for that, I really do respect it more than I really did like it. And that's why I'm going B, guys. But that is my opinion. I'd love to hear yours. Let me know down below there. Also, if you could, click that like button, click that subscribe button, and I do hope to see you back next time. Thank you so much. Bye bye.